upon a time in a nursery rhyme, there was a castle with a king hiding in a wing, because he never went to school to learn a single thing. He had scepters and swords and a parliament of lords, but on the inside he was sad, egad, because he never had a wisdom for numbers, a wisdom for words. Though his crown was quite immense, his brain was smaller than a bird's. So the queen of the nation made a royal proclamation to the missus and the messers, the more or lessers, bring me all the land's professors. Then she went to the hairdressers, and they came from the east and they came from the south. From each college they poured knowledge from their brains into his mouth, but the king couldn't learn, so each professor met their fate, for the queen had their heads removed and placed upon the gate. And on that date, I state their wives all got a note, their mate was now the late great. But then suddenly one day a stranger started in to sing. He said, I'm the dirty rascal and I'm here to teach the king. And the queen clutched her jewels, for she hated royal fools. But this fool had some rules they really ought to teach in schools, like you'll be a happy king if you enjoy the things you've got. You should never try to be the kind of person that you're not. So they sang and they laughed, for the king had found a friend, and they ran onto a rainbow for the story's perfect end. So the moral is you mustn't let the outside be the guide, for it's not so cut and dried. Well, unless it's Dr. Jekyll, then you better hide. Put your fire.
How about that exclusive look at Mary Poppins Returns? Lin-Manuel Miranda rapping and dancing with those famous penguins. Now, I have to say, we couldn't recruit the penguins, but we do have the star. Please welcome Lin-Manuel Miranda. How about that?
How about that? Thank you for the exclusive.
I think that's the first time the world has seen that.
That is the first time the
Yep.
world has seen that.
We got a nice
But that was not the first time you danced with penguins?
Actually, no. I spent hours dancing with penguins. It was just a one-sided relationship with my VHS copy of the original Mary Poppins at home. I don't know if you guys remember, but like on VHS, the Disney boxes were like a little bigger than the regular boxes. They were fluffy and white. They were the only boxes you could hug. And so that lived in my home growing up. And to get to meet them and dance with them for real was a dream come true.
I'll bet.
You loved the movie as a kid. When you got to that set, was it pure joy? Was it a ton of work? Because watching it is just mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's both. Two things can be true. It was both a lot of work and it was a dream come true. I remember Rob Marshall, who's really the reason we're all here. It was the first movie he ever saw when he was 4 years old. He directed this incredible movie, and he has such an air of ceremony about things that are special. And he sort of walked us onto Cherry Tree Lane for the first time, and he had music playing, like he had the original music playing while we walked on, and so we were all just like, oh God. So it was everything about every day of work was magical.
You mentioned that you guys felt emotional. Emily was just here, who plays Mary Poppins. Emily Blunt is just
perfect.
Amazing. Jack, the lamplighter, amazing. Your character. Her dad cried. John Krasinski, her husband, cried. What was your family's reaction when they saw you up on the screen?
Oh, well, you know, it's funny. My son saw the movie for the first time on Sunday, and
just this week?
Just this week, and he was on set when he was 2. He's 4 now. I mean, it took us a long time to make this movie, and so he saw Daddy climbing Big Ben, and he saw Daddy, you know, doing these crazy dances and dancing with all those other lamplighters. But when he saw the movie, it sort of put it all together for him, and it was, and he left singing the songs, which is like I can't think of a higher honor. Which is
you talk about climbing Big Ben. You really had to channel your inner stuntman.
Yes. Well, I wanted to be a stuntman when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I didn't realize I'd be scared of getting hurt or going fast in heights. But I got to sort of live out all my action movie dreams. I think Jason Statham can sleep fine at night, knowing I'm not coming for his job. But I got to do all kinds of stunts I never would have ordinarily done otherwise. From that incredible bicycle that I had to ride all over London to.
Yeah, you named the bicycle, right?
Yeah, Gertie.
So guys, Gertie is the lamplighter's bicycle that has a ladder going horizontally. I was wondering how you managed that through all the scenes, and then you have like an elaborate dance scene on the bike.
Yeah, we had these like the best sort of stunt bikers in London all sort of dancing with us, and all in our little flat caps, and it was just like I can't tell you how like one day you're dancing with penguins, and then the next day you're dancing with Meryl Streep, and then the next day you're riding bikes down Buckingham Palace's driveway, which like is, you know,
normal. Just another day on the job.
Us and James Bond. Those are the only people who get that privilege. So
how'd the family like living in London?
I mean, it was totally a dream come true. It was, you know, my son was still really young, so he's not in like school yet, so it was a perfect adventure for our family, and it was kind of a magical time in our lives.
And then we're all going to get to see it over Christmas. Yeah. I have to talk about what's coming up in January, going back to Puerto Rico for Hamilton.
Yeah, so I'm gonna perform in Hamilton again. We're inaugurating. It's a new company. It's essentially our third national tour, but we'll premiere it in Puerto Rico, and all the money that we raise in Puerto Rico will go to artists and arts organizations still recovering in the wake of Hurricane Maria.
Fantastic. That is so good.
How long will you be doing the show? How many performances?
3 weeks. 3 weeks of shows. Yeah, so 24 performances.
And I just read you were very honest that it wasn't quite like riding Gertie the bike. You had to learn the songs.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I haven't played the role in 2.5 years, so I've sort of been practicing every minute and doing laundry and on the subway and it's funny. It's sort of like, hey, there's a lot of lyrics on the show, and oh yeah, it's my fault. I wrote the lyrics. I'm the one who made it so wordy. I have no one to blame but me.
So good. I wanted to ask you about your experience with Dick Van Dyke. I have so many questions.
Oh, yeah.
All I can say is, guys, you must see this.
He's magical in the movie. I hope you all get a chance to see it.
And so are you as Jack, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.